Yesterday, we're finished work and we're just kind of hanging out, which we do almost every day. Just kind of hanging out and shooting the breeze. And Max and Lamar get into not a disagreement because that sounds like aggressive, but something they disagreed very strongly on. Lamar mentioned casually that he had his car condiments. And Max was like, "What? You have condiments in your car?" And Lamar is driving a pantry. It is a pantry on wheels. And Max is like, "I would never have condiments in my car." And Lamar's like, "Well, I feel sorry for you." So,
Yeah, exactly.
back me up, guys, because I was working on something else when the two of you began arguing about Lamar's car condiments.
Here's what happened. Me and Carla and another couple of couples, we went out to eat, and we wound up. Sheri, you know where I'm talking about? It's right across the street from your daughter goes to college. It's Moe's Barbecue, and I'd never eaten
it's good
there, and
stuff.
I'd heard great things about it. So we roll up in there, and so I got the ribs and some collards and some coleslaw, and everything was great. Carla always gets a barbecue sandwich when she goes to a barbecue place, and so she had requested, because we don't put sauce. We eat the barbecue. If the barbecue's right, you don't need sauce. So she didn't get sauce on it, but she said, "Can I get some mayonnaise?" And the lady said, "Yeah, no problem." So we're all sitting over and everybody's got their plates and everything's ready to eat. And they brought the food. And Carla said, I was supposed to have mayonnaise. And the lady said, "We don't have mayonnaise." Carla didn't miss a second. She looks up at me and she says, "Can you run to the car and get some mayonnaise?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be right back." So I go out there and get some mayonnaise and I bring it back. And everybody at the table's like, "What just happened here? What? You keep mayonnaise in the car?" I said, "You don't?" And they said, "No. Who keeps?" I said, listen, let me tell you something. If y'all need some hot sauce, I got it. You need mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, Duke's mayonnaise, by the way. I said, and I said, "I've got toothpicks. I've got wet wipes. I mean, what do y'all need?"
Do you have a refrigerator in your car is my question. Wet wipes and toothpicks are one thing. Mayonnaise, that can go bad.
No. Mayonnaise is fine. It's in the packets. I don't have a. That's because I don't have room for a jar.
But still, like if it gets hot enough inside your car, wouldn't mayonnaise in a packet go rancid?
I would be so concerned about
Impossible.
that. I couldn't use those condiments with confidence.
Impossible.
Lamar, I'm trying very hard, very, very hard, very hard to keep this question inside my mouth. What kind of an animal puts mayonnaise on barbecue? What have you married? What are you doing? How are you living like this?
I said barbecue sandwich. There's no such thing as a sandwich without mayonnaise. That's just ridiculous. I mean,
barbecue and mayonnaise, Lamar or Max. Is it just me, or did that seem to you like?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just remind you. You were against heavy cream for coffee. What'd you put in your coffee this morning?
I confess I was wrong. You were right about that. Heavy
cream.
So
Are you telling me that you've had a mayonnaise, a barbecue sandwich with mayonnaise and you spit it out because it was terrible? No. What you're telling me is you're against the idea of it. Okay?
I've never had mayonnaise. I've never had mayonnaise on a barbecue sandwich.
There you
go. But
go.
also, I would be nervous riding around with the collection of condiments that you have in your car.
Okay.
Does that stuff? I mean, come on.
It's a safety issue. You know how people tell you to keep like some bottles of water and a blanket and stuff in your car in case you get lost or
stranded
off in a ravine? Yeah. Okay. All right. Picture this. You're in your car, you're in a ravine or something. You can move around or whatever, and you want something to eat. So what if I go out and I kill a squirrel and I come back and we're going to eat the squirrel? You're going to want some mayonnaise with the squirrel. I mean, you're just not going to eat the squirrel without mayonnaise. Just tell me.
I was prepared to grant you. That I might find myself confronted with a mayonnaise and barbecue sandwich. But now you're asking me to imagine a scenario where the two of us are trapped in an upside down car in a ravine and you're hunting squirrels And
Hey,
I'm grateful that we have condiments. Mister, do you not have a cell phone? Can you not call 911?
Really?
Leave us a talk back. Talk back with the free Bob and Sheri app.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This dumb thing just refuses to let me send a message to you guys.
Well,
We got that one.
what a
You
great
know,
voice.
that was I'd like to hear that again. That sounds
I know.
like, whew. Like if I had a bomb shelter, I'd use this as my recording. Can we hear it again?
yeah. Hang on. Let me get it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This dumb thing just refuses to let me send a message to you guys.
Sir,
What
I
a
have to tell you, we don't know why that's happening. Half the time, we don't know why something works or doesn't work. We just bang on it or turn it off and turn it back on again.
Sorry about
I got
that.
nothing. Yeah, but we're going to investigate.
We will.
We'll reach out because that was a talk back on the app, right? We'll reach
Right.
out to Aircast.
So
and
try again.
ask.
Try again.
So try again. Because you did get through.
Yeah.
You did.
And we just want to hear your voice again. I've got another one, Sheri. You're going to love this.
Hey, it's Jackie from Virginia. I was listening to the show earlier today, and you guys were talking about a Picasso that was sold at a yard sale. And Lamar talked about how he loathed yard sales and that could never happen to him. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my experience with that. As a child growing up in Virginia, I remember going to see an artist painting at the local mall. My parents bought, I think, 3 pictures from him, and they hung up in our living room the whole time I was growing up. And then as my parents moved, I moved. As an adult, I started seeing this renaissance of this artist around and thought, those look like the pictures that hung above my couch growing up. And then I went to an exhibit at the Smithsonian and thought, oh yeah, that's the guy that painted our pictures. And did a little research. Yeah, that guy painted pictures in malls when he was first starting out. I'm sure that was the artist. And so I called my dad up. I'm like, hey, Dad, whatever happened to those pictures that hung above our couch when I was growing up? He said, oh, those old things? When we moved, I sold them in a yard sale for like $5. I'm like, oh, my gosh, Dad. Those were original Bob Ross paintings that as a triplet will bring over $30,000 today.
Oh, you know what? It'd be better to not know.
God, yeah, it would drive me nuts.
It would be better to not know. Oh.
Every time
This
you
is-
see anything connected with him, that's all you can think about. It's got to just send a sharp pain in your gut.
This is something I think, definitely for me and Lamar, I think you and Doc are a little bit of a wild card because you come from really different families than we do. We know for a certainty that there was nothing hanging up in either of our childhood homes that was worth a damn.
No. We didn't even have the dogs playing poker. I mean, no.
Oh, stop it. I'm going to have to start a GoFundMe. Don't. Not even the dogs playing poker. Yeah, but like, we had nothing that was worth
She
anything.
said they were just paintings that he was selling at the mall. I mean, there would be no way. I'm sure they weren't terribly expensive, but you'd have no way of knowing he was Bob Ross, who really didn't find fame until after he died, like most artists.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't think they were very good, and that's why you wanted to unload them at a yard sale. I would be nervous. Like, let's say my mom passes away and I go to clean out her house, which, by the way, is a thing I will not have to do because my mother has already cleaned out her house and is sleeping in her fully made bed in what she'd like to be buried in. Okay. This is not a problem for me, but let's say that I did, and there's a painting on the wall, and I don't know, it's a cactus or something, and I don't know, it's not my thing, and I don't know what it is. I still couldn't put it in a yard sale because I'd be looking at it going, what if this cactus painting is like, I don't know, Georgia O'Keeffe or something? My mom is just unpredictable enough to have that. And I sell it for $1 to the nice lady 2 doors down. and it ends up being worth $1 million.
I was just listening to the episode from the 30th, Thursday, and at the end you were talking about Casey and the Sunshine Band, Get Down Tonight, being 50 years old, and Bob asked Max if the beginning intro was by guitar or keyboards. Max is absolutely right. It is definitely guitar. I could even tell it was guitar. But anyway, don't doubt Max. Max is never wrong. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't hear what she said at the end. What was that?
Hey, don't doubt Max. Max is never wrong. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
Is that the first time you've heard that, Max? You're never wrong. Is that the first time?
I'm happy for you.
Don't doubt Max. Max is never wrong. You guys have a great weekend.
You know what I'm wondering? If maybe we're the only people in your life that needs to hear that. I'm wondering, people don't really do this anymore, but could you make that your ringtone? Max is always right. Don't doubt Max. And then let me know when it would be a good time for us to start calling your phone repeatedly so it keeps going off. We could do that for you.
This woman, what a wonderful listener. Aren't we lucky and fortunate to have a listener like this?
Yes.
Who's so insightful.
And perceptive.
Yes.
Yeah. And intelligent. Yeah.
Use the Talk Back feature on the free Bob and Sheri app and leave us a message.
Here at the Bob and Sheri Show, we've had a lot of cybersecurity problems lately. Of course, as you know, Bob's Facebook was hacked and we're still working on that. So I'm working on a True Word Stuff episode, minding my business, and then I get an alert from Google and it says your recovery email has changed. And I look at it and it's an email I don't recognize, which means someone is trying to hack into my Gmail. So I was like, oh, not today, Satan. I don't think so. So I went and reported that and changed my password and my two-factor and all of that. And I got the following message on my screen that I would like to read to you now. Amazon wants to access your Google account, Sheri.Lynch. This will allow Amazon to read, compose, send, and permanently delete all of your email from Gmail. This will allow Amazon to see, edit, download, and permanently delete your contacts. This will allow Amazon to see, edit, share, and permanently delete all the calendars you can access using Google Calendar. Hey, Amazon, if my husband said those things to me, I would leave him. Are you kidding me? You want to read my email and send it and then delete it? You want access to my contacts and my calendar? Can anyone tell me any good reason for why Amazon.com should have that sort of access to any of us?
No.
I'm waiting.
No.
Yeah. And so when I told Amazon, no, I don't want you to have this access, Gmail shut me down and said, well, you're going to have to try again. So I guess what I'm asking is, did we wake up in a world where I just agreed that Jeff Bezos could send my mom nudes and then delete everything in my calendar? Like, what are we doing, people? Why are we okay with this? Why are we just allowing Amazon.com that is such an overreach to be able to access and send and delete? What? You can't give me one. Can you give me one justification for that? One.
I can't think of anything.
No.
I can't think of anything.
So listen up, Amazon.com. I'm talking to you now. You want access to my email? I'm going to need you to start answering some of it, okay? And my calendar, how's about you show up?
You read it once.
I don't believe that.
And then you read it again.
I can't believe this.
It's Bob and Sheri's.
I don't believe this.
I cannot believe this.
I appreciate the art of a good clickbait headline, and if it's really, really good, I will click on it to reward the person who wrote it. with my eyeballs so that they can keep their job and continue writing good clickbaity headlines. This is one of those, and I wouldn't even be mentioning it, except I felt that, Lamar, you would find this an attack on everything you hold dear as an American. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Here's
give it
the
to me,
headline
give it
that
to
I
me.
clicked on. The sinister truth behind Texas Roadhouse's iconic rolls. So I'm like,
Sinister?
They do have
Sinister.
really. Oh my God, their rolls are good. Yes,
They are.
yeah, they're
very
like
good.
yeast rolls.
with cinnamon
they're-
butter.
Yeah, they're
That
tender.
butter.
They're
Yeah.
tender and they're a little bit flaky, but not flaky like a biscuit. And they're always right out of the oven, and they serve them with that cinnamon butter, and that hits your table as soon as you hit your seat, right?
Right.
And
The
they
sinister-
will keep bringing them to you as long as you can eat them.
If you empty in the basket, they're filling it back up. So
Right.
before I hovered over the headline, the sinister truth behind the Texas Roadhouse rolls, I hovered because what I wanted to happen when I clicked on it, I wanted to find out that the Texas Roadhouse rolls came from an old family recipe of the founder of Texas Roadhouse. It was his great-great-grandmother, and she killed his great-great-granddaddy with an axe because she was tired of the man coming home smelling of liquor one too many times. And even though she killed him with an axe and it was a scandal, everybody agreed that Mama's yeast rolls were the finest in the land. That's what I wanted to find when I clicked on the word sinister. Because if you're going to call a yeast roll sinister, I need a bloody crime to be behind it. Is that not, can we not agree?
Yeah.
Can we not agree on that?
Yeah.
Do you want to know the real sinister truth of the Texas Roadhouse yeast rolls?
Yes.
The real sinister truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, they're so loaded in highly processed sugars that they spike your blood glucose levels and then crash them, which makes you hungrier. So part of the reason they slam that basket of rolls down in front of you is they know that you're going to eat them because you can't not eat them because they're like crack. And the more you eat them, the hungrier you're going to be, which means you're going to order maybe more food than you would have. You're definitely going to do an appetizer, and you're definitely going to go, man, you know what, maybe a loaded baked potato, and let's save room for that chocolate brownie sundae dessert. That's what they're doing. That's the sinister part.
Hey, Sheri. So,
But I don't.
so
What I don't understand. What's the definition of sinister? That sounds to me like excellent customer service. Is what it sounds
Thank
to me.
you,
like.
Lamar. That's my point. That's my point. If you're going to use the word sinister and there isn't an ancient family secret involving your great-great-grandma with a bloody hatchet, then I don't want to see the word sinister in your headline. So just one Texas Roadhouse roll has 227 calories, 8 grams of fat, and 28 grams of carbs, which, you know, seems okay, like that's about what you'd expect for something that delicious.
I'm
But
not
the problem
surprised.
is,
I mean,
the problem is when you eat a whole basket of them. So now you know, and I'll post this, you know, but you have to remember that food is not your enemy. Food is neutral in the war. Food is Switzerland. It is not your enemy. So you don't have to like be afraid of certain foods, and you don't have to like hide from certain foods. And you definitely do not use the word sinister around me if there ain't a crime that you're about to disclose.
Well, as speaking of a person who has numerous times knocked out a basket full and took a couple home, I'm still alive, so I'm
hey,
I'm good.
Not only do you get the rolls there, they're giving you a bucket of peanuts too. I mean, if you leave there hungry, it's your
Yes.
fault.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And peanuts is a protein. There we go. That balances off. Listen. For every roll I ate a handful of peanuts. So I think I got a balance going there. I'm good to go. Good to go.
Thank you. And ain't nothing sinister about that. You're doing math.
No.
Okay. How about an attaboy instead of
Yes.